Mr. Sands, distinguished troopers, family and friends of the Big Red One, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the 1st Infantry Division in Fort Riley, welcome to the December 2016 retirement ceremony. Each month, a ceremony is held to honor our military and Department of the Army civilians who have served their country with distinction. Serving as the official party for today's ceremony is the Deputy Commanding Officer, Medical Command, Irwin Army Community Hospital, Colonel Timothy N. Bergeron, and the Chief Clinical Non-Commissioned Officer, Medical Command, Irwin Army Community Hospital, Master Sergeant Roland G. Townsend. Units from left to right, represented by their colors, are the 1st Armored Brigade Combat Team, 1st Infantry Division, the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team, 1st Infantry Division, the Combat Aviation Brigade, 1st Infantry Division, the Division Artillery, 1st Infantry Division, the Sustainment Brigade, 1st Infantry Division. The installation and partner units are comprised of the United States Army Garrison, the Medical Activity, Fort Riley, the Dental Activity, Fort Riley. The case colors represent the 1st Armored Brigade Combat Team in support of the Career Rotational Force and the Division Headquarters and Headquarters Battalion. The Division Artillery, along with the Combat Aviation Brigade, currently deployed in support of Operation Resolute Support and Operations Freedom Sentinel. Please come forward at any time to take photographs, except during the playing of the National Anthem. After years of commendable service to their country, every career soldier and Department of the Army civilian comes to a time when they put aside their attire and retire, either to a new profession or a well-deserved rest. In today's ceremony, the men and women of the 1st Infantry Division in Fort Riley will pay tribute to these retirees and their families who have helped ensure the defense of this great nation during the most momentous period of our history. We ask that you please stand for the invocation given by the Medical Command, Irwin Army Community Hospital, Chaplain Joseph L. Wingo, the arrival of the official party, and the playing of our national anthem by the 1st Infantry Division Army Band under the direction of Sergeant Stephen Downey.
I invite you to bow your heads and pray with me. Dear Lord, today we come to you with a deep gratitude in our hearts for all the gifts you have given us, family, friends, laughter, and all those things that make life worth living. We lift up all who are retiring today and ask that you bless them as they enter into this new stage of life. Give them a vision and a hope for the future. Bless them and their families. Allow them to enjoy life a little more and find new meaning as they continue to live within your will. All this we pray in your name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Medical Command, Irwin Army Community Hospital, Deputy Commanding Officer, Colonel Timothy N. Bergeron.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending. And to the retirees, you look great, and we're getting ready to wish you well. So, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, friends and families of the Big Red One, I'm honored to be here with you today and distinctly privileged to speak in front of such a distinguished audience. My name is Tim Bergeron, and I am a Big Red One soldier. Today we recognize the service of 12 of our nation's finest. 12 individuals who sacrificed personal goals and aggrandizement to dedicate their lives to the service of our nation. In a time when less than 1% of the population of our country have served in uniform, these individuals stood up and answered their nation's call, most knowing they would be asked to put their lives on the line in places like Korea, Bosnia, Somalia, Iraq, Afghanistan, and for that we are forever grateful. The men and women here today have collectively given over 305 years of their time and talent to our nation in occupations such as maintenance technician, commander, command sergeant major, dental hygienist, and logistics NCO. As they transition from service to our nation, they all have big dreams. Some want to open their own businesses, others will go to school and expand their opportunities. Still others will go to their retirement homes and enjoy time with their friends and families. Their hard work and dedication has earned them all the good things that life has to offer, and I hope that each of them experiences only success and happiness. The soldiers retiring today and their brothers and sisters in arms did not and do not hesitate to run to danger. They were and remain brave, responsible, and on point for our nation. They are the best that our nation has to offer. To our retirees, each of you will now become one of more than 2 million military and federal retirees across our nation, and as I mentioned, you deserve every success in whatever path you choose to take. But your service to our nation is far from over. Your training and the years of service above self that you have learned over an entire career have become part of who you are now, and our nation continues to need you. You will be called upon to serve in other ways. You will notice the need at your local schools and school boards, on your city and town councils, in your neighborhoods, churches, parishes, and police precincts. Our nation needs you in ways too numerous to mention, and rather than heard, the call will be felt. Felt when you listen to the local news, read the paper, or talk to your neighbors. You've been trained and tested in our nation's most enduring crucible, military service. Many of you under fire, and your leadership is needed, now more than ever. Do not forget why you originally chose to serve, why you put on the uniform or took the civilian oath of office. I urge you to continue to serve, to volunteer, and to lead. Even as I thank you for all you have done as you end your Army career, your service to our country is not over, and we continue to expect great things from you. There are many ways to stay connected to the military, stay involved in professional organizations, continue to mentor our young soldiers, stay active in veterans organizations, and remember that you are all soldiers for life. You will always remember your time in service to the greatest army in the world, and I hope that you will fondly remember your time with the nation's oldest, most storied division, the Fighting 1st Infantry Division, and the men and women of Fort Riley. My name is Tim Bergeron, and I am a Big Red 1 soldier. No mission too difficult, no sacrifice too great. Duty first.
At this time, Master Sergeant Roland G. Townsend will join Colonel Bergeron for the awards portion of the ceremony. Our first retiree that we honor today is Major Todd A. Phillips, who is retiring after 25 years of military service. Major Todd A. Phillips is commended for his outstanding service to the nation, culminating with his assignment as the Chief of Plans and Operations Director of Plans, Training, Mobilization and Security, Headquarters and Headquarters Detachment, United States Army Garrison, Wiesbaden, Germany. Major Phillips and his wife, Amy, have one child, Allie. The Phillips family will retire in Wichita, Kansas, where he plans to continue to teach Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps at Wichita North High School. Today, Major Todd A. Phillips is receiving the Meritorious Service Medal, the Department of the Army Certificate of Retirement, and a Certificate of Appreciation. All Army Certificates of Retirement presented today are signed by the Army Chief of Staff, General Mark A. Milley, and all Certificates of Appreciation presented today are signed by the Commander-in-Chief, President Barack H. Obama. Major Todd A. Phillips is also receiving a folded American flag. Colonel Bergeron is presenting an American flag and a division coin to each retiree as a token of appreciation on behalf of a grateful nation for their selfless service in the defense of our liberty. Each retiree will also receive a lapel pin that they can wear on their civilian clothes. His wife Amy receives the Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation and a single red rose for her dedication to her husband and to the nation. By order of the Secretary of the Army, Major Todd A. Phillips, having qualified for retirement, is released from active duty and placed on the retired list. Ladies and gentlemen, Major Todd A. Phillips, retired, and family. Captain Joseph A. Peabody is retiring after 28 years of military service. Captain Joseph A. Peabody is commended for his outstanding service to the nation, culminating with his assignment as the Chief of Human Resources Division for MEDAC, Irwin Army Hospital, Fort Riley, Kansas. Captain Peabody and his wife, Dr. Colette Peabody, have 3 children, Nathan, Michael, and Gianna. The Peabody family will retire in Manhattan, Kansas, where he plans to continue to take some time off, then pursue a career in human resources. Today, Captain Peabody is receiving the Meritorious Service Medal, the Department of the Army Certificate of Retirement, and a Certificate of Appreciation. His wife, Colette, receives the Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation and a single red rose for her dedication to her husband and to the nation. By order of the Secretary of the Army, Captain Joseph A. Peabody, having qualified for retirement, is released from active duty and placed on the retired list. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Joseph A. Peabody, retired, and family. Captain Francesca J.T. Ardell Boone is retiring after 20 years of military service. Captain Ardell Boone is commended for her outstanding service to the nation, culminating with her assignment as the Battalion S2 Division Headquarters and Headquarters Battalion, 1st Infantry Division. Captain Ardell Boone has 1 child, Khalil. The Ardell Boone family will retire in Triangle, Virginia, where she plans to continue her educational pursuit towards her doctorate in business at Strayer University and to continue her work in the federal system. Today, Captain Ardell Boone is receiving the Meritorious Service Medal, the Department of the Army Certificate of Retirement, and a Certificate of Appreciation. By order of the Secretary of the Army, Captain Francesca J.T. Ardell Boone, having qualified for retirement, is released from active duty and placed on the retired list. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Francesca J.T. Ardell Boone, retired, and family. Chief Warrant Officer 3, Marlon V. Anthony, is retiring after 20 years of military service with 6 combat tours. Chief Warrant Officer 3 Anthony is commended for his outstanding service to the nation, culminating with his assignment as the Battalion Maintenance Technician, Hotel Company, 2nd Armored 70th Regiment, 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team, 1st Infantry Division. Chief Warrant Officer 3 Anthony and his wife Jessica have 4 children, Marlisha, Ariana, Alicia, and Jasmine. The Anthony family will retire in Colorado Springs, Colorado, where he plans to manage a barbershop, work in the real estate field, and serve his community. Today, Chief Warrant Officer 3 Anthony is receiving the Meritorious Service Medal, the Department of the Army Certificate of Retirement, and a Certificate of Appreciation. His wife, Jessica, received the Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation and a single red rose for her dedication to her husband and to the nation. By order of the Secretary of the Army, Chief Warrant Officer 3, Marlon V. Anthony, having qualified for retirement, is released from active duty and placed on the retired list.
sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Warrant Officer 3, Marlon V. Anthony, retired, and family. Sergeant Major Esteban Perez is retiring after 33 years of military service. Sergeant Major Perez is commended for his outstanding service to the nation, culminating with his assignment as the G4 Sergeant Major, Division Headquarters and Headquarters Battalion, 1st Infantry Division. Sergeant Major Perez and his wife, Yvette, have 3 children, Marianne, Jahide, and Esteban Jr. The Perez family will retire in San Antonio, Texas, where he plans to enjoy retirement with his family. Today, Sergeant Major Perez is receiving the Legion of Merit Medal, the Department of the Army Certificate of Retirement, and a Certificate of Appreciation. His wife, Yvette, receives the Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation and a single red rose for her dedication to her husband and to the nation. By order of the Secretary of the Army, Sergeant Major Esteban Perez, having qualified for retirement, is released from active duty and placed on the retired list. Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant Major Esteban Perez, retired, and family. First Sergeant Timothy B. Faulkner is retiring after 21 years of military service. First Sergeant Faulkner is commended for his outstanding service to the nation, culminating with his assignment as the Support Operations Sergeant Major, Headquarters and Headquarters Company, Special Troops Battalion, 1st Sustainment Brigade, 1st Infantry Division. First Sergeant Faulkner and his wife, Maureen, have 4 children, Bryce, Kaylee, Cameron, and McKenna. The Faulkner family will retire in Clarksville, Tennessee, where he plans to continue to support the warfighter as a Department of the Army civilian or government contractor. Today, First Sergeant Faulkner is receiving the Meritorious Service Medal, the Department of the Army Certificate of Retirement, and a Certificate of Appreciation. His wife, Maureen, receives the Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation and a single red rose for her dedication to her husband and to the nation. By order of the Secretary of the Army, First Sergeant Timothy B. Faulkner, having qualified for retirement, is released from active duty and placed on the retired list. Ladies and gentlemen, First Sergeant Timothy B. Faulkner, retired, and family. Sergeant First Class Kenneth N. Brown, Jr. is retiring after 26 years of military service. Sergeant First Class Brown is commended for his outstanding service to the nation, culminating with his assignment as the Senior Human Resource Sergeant, 450th Movement Control Battalion, 561st Regional Support Group, 451st Expeditionary Sustainment Command. Sergeant First Class Brown and his wife, Pastor Yolanda Brown, have 5 children, Shanetta, Dwayne, Shalonda, Anthony, and Alonda. The Brown family will retire in Kansas City, Missouri, where he plans to give back to the military community by working for the Veterans Affairs Office in Kansas City, Missouri. Today, Sergeant First Class Brown is receiving the Meritorious Service Medal, the Department of the Army Certificate of Retirement, and a Certificate of Appreciation. His wife Yolanda received the Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation and a single red rose for her dedication to her husband and to the nation. By order of the Secretary of the Army, Sergeant First Class Kenneth N. Brown, Jr., having qualified for retirement, is released from active duty and placed on the retired list. Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant First Class Kenneth N. Brown, Jr., retired as family. Sergeant First Class Victor C. Eisenhower is retiring after 36 years of military service. Sergeant First Class Eisenhower is commended for his outstanding service to the nation, culminating with his assignment as the Battalion Safety Non-Commissioned Officer, 339th Movement Control Team, 450 Movement Control Battalion, 561st Regional Support Group, 451st Expeditionary Sustainment Command. The Eisenhower family will retire in Wamego, Kansas, where he plans to finish his education with a bachelor's degree in history, possibly science and substitute teacher, or seek employment in Kansas State University. Today, Sergeant First Class Eisenhower is receiving the Meritorious Service Medal, the Department of the Army Certificate of Retirement, and a Certificate of Appreciation. His wife Susan receives the Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation and a single red rose for her dedication to her husband and to the nation. By order of the Secretary of the Army, Sergeant First Class Victor C. Eisenhower, having qualified for retirement, is released from active duty and placed on the retired list. Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant First Class Victor C. Eisenhower retired and Mrs. Eisenhower. Sergeant First Class Samuel A. McCreary is retiring after 23 years of military service. Sergeant First Class McCreary is commended for his outstanding service to the nation, culminated with his assignment as First Sergeant, 2nd Battalion, 34th Armament Regiment, 1st Armored Brigade Combat Team, 1st Infantry Division. Sergeant First Class McCreary and his wife Melody have 3 children, Cheyenne, Jacob, and Colin. The McCreary family will retire in Columbus, Georgia, where he plans to instruct at the 91 Alpha Advanced Individual Training. Today, Sergeant First Class McCreary is receiving the Meritorious Service Medal, the Department of the Army Certificate of Retirement, and a Certificate of Appreciation. His wife Melody receives the Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation and a single red rose for her dedication to her husband and to the nation. By order of the Secretary of the Army, Sergeant First Class Samuel A. McCreary, having qualified for retirement, is released from active duty and placed on the retired list. Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant First Class Samuel A. McCreary, retired, and family. Sergeant First Class Raymond M. Ledbetter II is retiring after 23 years of military service. Sergeant First Class Ledbetter is commended for his outstanding service to the nation, culminating with his assignment as the ELM Platoon Sergeant, 1st Support Maintenance Company, 541st Combat Sustainment Support Battalion, 1st Sustainment Brigade, 1st Infantry Division. Sergeant First Class Ledbetter and his wife Felicia have 2 children, Jasmine and Haley. The Ledbetter family will retire in Junction City, Kansas, where he plans to enjoy time with his family and open a photography studio in Junction City, Kansas. Today, Sergeant First Class Ledbetter is receiving the Meritorious Service Medal, the Department of the Army Certificate of Retirement, and a Certificate of Appreciation. His wife Felicia receives the Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation and a single red rose for her dedication to her husband and to the nation. By order of the Secretary of the Army, Sergeant First Class Raymond M. Ledbetter II, having qualified for retirement, is released from active duty and placed on the retired list. Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant First Class Raymond M. Ledbetter II, retired, and family. Sergeant First Class Pedro A. Meza III is retiring after 23 years of military service. Sergeant First Class Meza is commended for his outstanding service to the nation, culminating with his assignment as the Brigade Transportation Logistics Non-Commissioned Officer, 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team, 1st Infantry Division. Sergeant First Class Meza and his wife, Jackie, have 2 children, Thomas and Aaron. The Meza family will retire in Woodbridge, Virginia, where he plans to attend George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia, and establish a small business providing logistical services and supplies to the Department of Defense. Today, Sergeant First Class Meza is receiving the Meritorious Service Medal, the Department of the Army Certificate of Retirement, and a Certificate of Appreciation. His wife, Jackie, receives the Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation and a single red rose for her dedication to her husband and to the nation. By order of the Secretary of the Army, Sergeant First Class Pedro A. Meza III, having qualified for retirement, is released from active duty and placed on the retired list. Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant First Class Pedro A. Meza III, retired, and family. Our final retiree that we honor today is Miss Brenda D. Slater, who is retiring after 10 years of federal civil service. Ms. Slater is commended for her outstanding service to the nation, culminating with her assignment as dental hygienist, Dental Command, Fort Riley. Ms. Slater and her husband, Roland, have 2 children, Stephen and Krista. The Slater family will retire in Abilene, Kansas, where she plans to continue to sleep until sunrise, working real estate sales, and youth and women's ministry. Today, Ms. Slater is receiving the Commander's Award for Civilian Service, a Certificate of Appreciation, and a Certificate of Retirement. Her husband, Roland, received the Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation for his dedication to his wife and to the nation. By order of the Secretary of the Army, Ms. Brenda D. Slater, having qualified for retirement, is released from active federal civil service. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Brenda D. Slater, retired, and Mrs. Slater. Please join me in a round of applause for all the retirees on a job well done. Please be seated. 2 songs will now be played. Old Soldiers Never Die and Auld Lang Syne, as a tribute to our retirees. stand for the playing and singing of the Big Red One song, the Army song. The words are printed on the inside of your program. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the ceremony. The retirees and their spouses will form a receiving line to your front. Please wait until they are all in position before coming forward to offer your congratulations. Thank you for attending. A reception hosted by the Fort Riley and Central Kansas chapter of the Association of the United States Army will take place immediately following the ceremony.